Good morning, everyone. It's Natalie. Welcome to my channel, Find Joy in the Journey. I'm going to share with you what I'm going to be doing today in the garden. It's a lot of cleanup and rearranging, so let me show you what I'm up to. All right, so let me move over here. This is the spot where those okra plants were. And my son and I, we cut them down yesterday. And now I have to come over here and clean this spot and get it ready for lay down some more fabric and just freshen up this area so I can move my I'm thinking of moving the corn over here. I think it's a good spot for the corn. It gets lots of sunshine, and then also I'll have space to space out the plants. I told you about not wanting, those are the old okra plants over there. Those are the containers. And I just cut the plants down and just put them over in this area, and they will be thrown away. Okay. All right. Honestly, I hated to do it, but it was time. Sometimes you want to move on to something else. I had a great experience growing okra, and I harvested a lot of okra. I have a freezer full of bags of chopped okra. So, and then the next time when I plant okra, I'll try a different variety. This time I did the Clemson Spineless and Louisiana Green Velvet. So I'll try another variety next time. See how I like that. There's one called Jambalaya. There's so many different varieties I can try. And I'll just give it, try another variety. And I don't think I'll grow as many plants. I had 12 plants. And that was a lot. It was a lot to handle because you have to harvest okra almost every day. Once it starts growing, it is prolific. It produces a lot. Okay, here are the corn plants, right? And over here right now I have 3 different varieties of corn growing. I have the silver and gold right here. In the middle is early sunglow. And then over on the end is a variety called bodacious. Okay, and then I have more in those 2 containers down there, more bodacious and early sunglow. In those that's a grow bag there, and then we have another container right there. So the thing is, they need to be spaced out because you don't want them to cross-pollinate. You don't want the pollen from the early sunglow to fall over onto the silks of the bodacious or the silver and gold. They're actually, the early sunglow is like just your traditional golden corn, those yellow ears of corn. And then the bodacious and the silver and gold is bicolored. It has these light white kernels and then yellow kernels also. They're bicolored. So, I mean, it's a different variety, and you just don't want the pollen from one to get onto the other. That's cross-pollination. You don't want that. So yeah, I need more space. I got it pretty much cleaned out. Okay, it's not going to be perfect, This has been in place for what, 7 months? So we have old landscaping fabric. We have a few weeds growing up. So I will, and then I have like a little ant mound over here. I need to treat that. Make sure that they're canceled, if you know what I mean. And yeah, there's a lot more weeding to do, or grass, whatever you want to call it. But then I'm going to put down a extra layer of fabric, weed barrier, and then I will place my containers, my new containers in this spot. So I just wanted to show you what I did. This is just the first go around, and I will continue to pluck those little weeds up and place new fabric down, and mulch. I like to use mulch because in this area I notice that when you water collects in these little puddles because of the way our land kind of slopes a little bit. So water will collect in certain areas. So in the very beginning, I remember I had to put mulch down around each container so it can kind of absorb some of that water. Okay, because it would sometimes be way too much. You don't mind if your container sits in water because it keeps the container moist, right? The container can absorb the water from the bottom, right? So it's okay, but I didn't like seeing that stale brown water just collecting in puddles around the area because that would attract mosquitoes. So that's why I did put some mulch around it. Okay? But I just wanted to show you the area that I just cleared. It's not perfect, but I'm getting there. I line this area with bricks right here as edging. So when my husband or my son would come out here and they would mow the lawn and do the edging, that the bricks would protect my containers, because that weed whacker will eat a hole in your containers. I can show you proof of that. I was none too happy about that. I even started trying weed eating myself, but with my upper shoulders and all of that, I have issues with that. It was really hard for me to hold that heavy. It was heavy to me. Believe it or not, I know I look really, really strong, but I do have some weakness in what they call the rotator cuff, and I do have back issues. So I kind of put the edging here. I used bricks to just have a separation from yard to garden, so they can have. Plus, it looks nice. So they can come with the weed eater and the lawnmower and just clear that spot up. But I tell you what, it's a continuous battle to keep grass and weeds out of your garden. It's continuous, because guess what? Grass is going to grow. That seed doesn't die easy. It's going to grow. I'm trying to be careful in this area because this is where the little ant pile is. I don't want to disturb it. It looks like it's half dead already. This area right here, I'm really concerned about putting the landscape fabric down with these ants here. We'll see. I think I'll work around it, but I have to treat that area first. So let me go ahead and get the granules and go ahead and sprinkle over it. Let's see. Like I said, they're not moving around as much, so it may be. Nah, there they go. There they go. But Honestly, I cannot let this one little area stop me from finishing the whole job. So I'm gonna work around it and just treat it with the, this is the ant killer I use. I'm not trying to advertise for anybody, but this is what I use. These are for fire ants, but basically I like it because you can just take the granules, and you sprinkle it directly in that area, right? The worker ants, which I was very surprised to find out that they're females. The worker ants, they go and they feed the queen, right? When they feed the queen, then and she dies from the poison, the whole colony will die out after that. Okay, so that's why I like using these little granules. I have saved my raised bed. I have saved one of my containers before. This raised bed, I've used it more than once on this raised bed. And since this raised bed was right here where the okra was, there would be a trail of ants, a pile of ants that would come from the raised bed and then over here to the okra. So, and when you have ants on your okra plants, it will destroy that plant, keep it from producing okra because it likes the sticky sap that's on those flowers that begin to come to grow, the flowers that grow that turn into the okra pod. The ants will attack that blossom and abort it, and you won't get any okra. So that's what happened to me in the very beginning with my okra plants. See, I struggled with them in the beginning, but then once I got the ants under control using this, produce. So yes, I will miss my okra plants. That was a success story, a garden success story. But I would have to, treat the area right here, treating the bed and the okra area with this, kill off the colony and the queen, and then after that, just every so often, if I saw an ant mound forming, I would use it again to just get ahead of it, a step ahead of it. So this works for me. I don't put it directly near the plants because it is a poison. I put it in the mound near the area. So I'm treating the area around my garden. So that's going to take care of that, I guarantee you. Within hours, that's going to be under control. Okay, so let me continue. And use this kind of weed barrier fabric, and then I go over it with another thicker fabric. So there was this weed barrier or landscaping fabric that I had ordered from Amazon. I don't know. I just felt like I wasn't pleased with it. Maybe I should try a different brand. But yeah. So I just use this. I've been doing this for quite a while, and it works. After a while, with any fabric, it's gonna play out. But for the most part, this stays. This works. I want to get over here, so that means I'm gonna have to move my little pole. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay, here is the finished project. I'll still have to do a little bit more arranging. But if you could remember what it looked like before, we had old dead leaves, we had ant piles, we had old mulch, So I cleaned everything up, I swept, and then I moved the corn containers over here. Not sure if that's adequate amount of space in between each variety, but for now that'll have to do. So basically I got rid of that cucumber plant that was dying out, that was right there on the corner, and I moved the tomatoes over. So right now I only have 2 tomato plants. Those 2 indeterminate tomato plants right there, both beefsteak tomato plants. So basically it's over there in the corner. That container is empty. I haven't placed anything in there yet. And then you have the corn. I love it. I like the way everything is clean, and I pulled up as much grass and leaves as I could. Okay, all right, I just wanted to show you from another angle. Where the okra, where the okra was right here. Now I have my corn. And then over here where those cucumber plants were, I just moved the tomato plants over. So that's the new tomato area. So, and it just looks so much better. It makes the garden look more healthy. And sometimes just looking at those old dying plants, it just kind of bums you out. So it's like it renews your energy to get rid of the old and bring in the new, instead of having to look at those old dying out plants. And it was time. I had harvested so much from those okra plants. And this gives me an opportunity to, next season when it's time to grow okra, I will grow a different variety. And also I will try planting less. Instead of 12 okra plants to tend to, I think I will narrow it down to about 4, and that'll be plenty. But right now, this is my corn area. I have my corn. I tried to space it out, like I said, because you don't want the different varieties cross-pollinating. And then the tomatoes are over here in that area where the old cucumber plants were. But it looks so much nicer. I like it. What do you guys think? Comment down below. Okay, you guys? I'm going to sign off and enjoy the rest of my Sunday. I put in a lot of work, so it paid off. All right, you guys, I'm going to sign off now. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Bye now.